Welcome back. We're here again. Great record store day. There were a lot of great things that happened on record store day. There were some things that weren't so great. But, it's a record store day. I had a lot of people wish me happy record
What the heck? This is my wallet, and it's way lighter than it used to be.
Yeah, I've got my receipt right here. I think we're going to find out who at the end of the day ended up spending the most money at record store day. And I think that's true across the the whole vinyl community. I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos, and folks have been talking a lot about the different releases. And that guy walked out yesterday. He had a whole box. One guy walked out with a full box of stuff.
Dude, when I saw him leave the store, I'm like, we're not getting anything. he bought the whole. It's like the big fat guy at the buffet that's right in front of you, and he gets in. You're like, I'm out of here. I'm not getting nothing.
Yeah, it's so true. Yeah, what a mess. Then there was an event that was going on around the record store that we go to, and the parking was a night. It was just, we made the best of it, didn't we? We ate at a really nice place, the Shiny Diner.
Yep, it was good.
Yeah, it was very good, and it turned me on to that. We had a breakfast. I'll throw some things up there.
Not a lot of diners in North Carolina, so they're really all over the place up north. And when I moved down here, I was asking people, where's a good diner, and they're like, there's only like one or two of them around. I'm like, what? Kind of weird.
Yeah, and then I was going to stop by the donut place across the street, but I did get busy, and it's probably good I didn't, because I really don't need new donuts. Just so anyway, we picked up from our list. There was a lot we had on our list. There's a lot of things we didn't get, and I think that was probably for the best. We did get into the store. We did take a look around. Larry, I know you picked up a couple of extra things that you saw in there. It's more of an impulse buy. And I wasn't expecting to get the Fog Hat Live, the Fog Hat Live in.
Yeah, I figured they'd have one copy in the store, and that'd probably be it. But
yeah, it was two. Thank God, huh?
Yeah.
And we snatched it up right away. But kind of going back real quick, Larry, to other folks in the other stores and the other folks in the vinyl community on YouTube. Everybody's been going through. Everybody, for the most part, has been happy. I didn't see my Gandalf in there, but I started to think about it, and I started to listen to again some of the channels out there. And that Gandalf is going to be released. They're going to release it again. It's just not going to be on the funky green vinyl, whatever. And quite frankly, I could give a crap what color the vinyl is. Watching it spin around, I'm listening to the speakers.
That's right. If you get to hear the music at some point, it's a win.
Exactly.
That's all that matters.
So, Larry, do you want to go through what you got and your thoughts?
Sure. So I'll go through what I got first. I'll mention. And in our previous cast, we had gone through what we were hoping to get, and there were only two things that I didn't get that I was hoping, and that's the Yusuf Lateef, the Atlantis Lullaby, and then the other one, and I was only thinking of getting this because you had been talking it up, was the Stephen Wilson Harmonic Divergence, but that's okay. Everything else I had on the list, I got. Which I really was surprised at, because we had over 80 people in front of us. So the only CD I bought was this one. This was the Doors Live. And I've heard really, really good things about this concert. Jim Morrison had a nasty reputation when he would perform live with the Doors. Sometimes he'd be so drunk and high, he'd forget the words, he'd slur the words, really a mess. Yeah. But this is one of the few concerts where my understanding is he really was on top of his game. And, one of the things about the Doors, and like I said before, I'm not the biggest Doors fan. However, I do like them. I don't have to love them, but I can like them. And one of the things that the band prided themselves on was never playing the same song the exact same way in concert. They'd always try to do little something different here, a little something different there, stretch it out this night, shorten it the next, anyway. So I'm kind of looking forward to hearing, how that concert was recorded and performed. So
yeah,
that's nice.
And I know you haven't had a chance, I mean, to get anything on you're having some trouble with your system. Of course, I'm going to be over there this week to take a look at it, but that's a shame. Record Store Day, we look forward to it, and then the system gives us trouble.
I know,
I'm having trouble
not
over here in the studio.
Not the best thing to have happened.
No, we make do, don't we?
Yep. And this next album is the Record Store Day Ambassadors from Canada. This is the Tragically Hip, and this is the one thing, because I've never heard a single song by the Tragically Hip, so I'm very excited because I've heard so many good things about them. But the one thing that I've heard about them, which you also hear about, like a lot of the jam bands out there, that to know the Tragically Hip, you have to hear them live. And this is one of their famous concerts live. So once again, I'm excited and anxious to see what that sounds like,
Very cool. Yeah, and they being the ambassadors, like you said, to Canada, the Canadian ambassador stars.
That's right. That's right.
UK ambassadors? I don't know. There might be.
I'm not aware of it, but I think that, there's obviously a U.S. ambassador and a Canadian ambassador. I kind of thought there was another one, but I'm not sure about that.
Okay.
This is the Rocky Horror Picture Show, and that is Richard O'Brien, who wrote the original screenplay for the movie, for the play, everything. And this album is full of extras and bonuses. He's literally talking through some of the cuts as he's actually making the pitch to companies to buy it. So you're hearing his take on what these songs mean and the story is by buying this album. And so once again, I think the Rocky Horror Picture Show, while not everybody's cup of tea, is certainly probably the most famous cult movie of all time, and one of the best musicals. Even if you didn't like the movie, it's hard to not like the music. But that's just me. So I'm excited to hear about that. There's posters in there and all sorts of other stuff that.
See, there's a bunch of packaging inserts and things too. Look, I love the Time Warp. I'll say going.
There you go.
Again. Sure.
And let's see. This is the McGuinn Hillman 50th anniversary of the Sweetheart of the Rodeo. This is basically the Byrds singing live in concert. And it's got all the traditional Byrds hits that you would think of, like Mr. Spaceman, Mr. Tambourine Man, Turn, 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 blah, 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 blah. But if you listen to the Byrds, I mean, they were just a fantastic group. They've inspired so many artists since they were an active entity on the charts. And once again, I'm looking forward very much to putting this on my turntable and seeing how it sounds.
We'll get that up and running for you, Larry.
I hope so. Mm-hmm. This is Jorma Kaukonen, and once again, like we've said on our previous feed, Jorma Kaukonen was a tremendous guitarist. Started out playing with Hot Tuna and Jefferson Airplane, and then he decided to really go rogue and went new age. And a lot of guitarists, Leo Kaki went from kind of like rag picker guitar. He started doing new age. And some of these guys have really taken over new age and really taken it to boundaries that allow more people to accept the music because it's better. And Jorma Kaukonen, I have no idea what this is going to sound like, what it's going to be, what it's going to be like. But I figured there's a couple albums here. This is one of them that I figured let's take a chance and see what it's about.
How many, they didn't press a whole lot of those, or either the stores didn't order them because I didn't see those in a lot of the empty bins.
I don't think so. I mean, how many people know who Jorma Kaukonen even is,
Only Larry would know that.
You're right. This is another one that I decided at last minute to take a chance. At first, I was not going to buy the Bill Evans. I had literally on my way to see you, Todd, to meet you at Record Store Day. I was talking to a friend, and he had said, are you getting any Bill Evans? And I said, well, I don't think so. He said, it's a mono recording. And my friend had dug up the stereo recording in a New York City place last year. And I said, oh, well, maybe I shouldn't get it. And he goes, no. He goes, if you're thinking about getting it, I would get it because I heard that the mono sounded maybe even better than the stereo. So once again, look, can't argue with Bill Evans and the inspiration that he spawned. I love Bill Evans. I'm hoping that this is a good recording, and I'm sure it's a great performance. And one of my favorite jazz groups of all time, EST, they were very much influenced by a lot of Bill Evans's keyboards.
Yeah, you turned me on to them. That's the Scandinavian group, right? EST?
Yep.
Yeah,
yep.
Exceptional. Is that all you got, Larry?
No. Here's Def Leppard live, and this is live May of just last year. And, I'm not the biggest Def Leppard fan. I'm not a hater. But the reason I think the reason I wanted to pick this up was, number one, it has some good songs on it. But the first song on side A is Action. And that's a song by a group called The Sweet, who I used to be a big fan of. And I saw the video of Def Leppard performing the song, and they did a really great rendition of it. And like I told you before, Steve Priest of The Sweet loves the way Def Leppard covered their song. So I figured that'd be an interesting thing to have also.
Yeah, I know you like it.
And then the last one I have here, and this is probably my favorite. This is the one I wanted more than anything. If I could only get one this time, this is what I wanted to get. And this is Foghat live at the warehouse in New Orleans, and this is 1973. So this is right before they started to hit it big and start selling out stadiums. And this is, in my eyes, and I haven't heard it yet, but this is looking at the cuts that are on here. This is their roots. This is the blues boogie sound that they really took to another level and popularized. And I'm very much looking forward to hearing Rod Price on his slide Bottleneck. He's, I think, one of the most underrated guitarists there's been in many years. And I'm very much looking forward to that. And I could talk to you just about the guys that played bass guitar for Foghat for another 10 minutes. But
yeah, I mean,
nobody wants to hear that crap.
No, that's
so
not true, because I think we'll do a whole segment on just Foghat, or maybe how Foghat influenced other bands. Foghat, like you said, they had a different sound. As soon as I heard them, I loved them immediately. And quite frankly, I also bought. I already listened to it, so
nice.
Spoiler alert: it is damn good.
Yeah,
it's really good. As a matter
that's
of fact,
what I want to hear.
I compared it to my OG Foghat Live, which was, as you said, this was Fool for the City and the stuff that they were more popular. This is when they were, you can see there's a whole stadium. They're selling out stadiums there.
Yeah.
This recording takes us back to where they're really in their blues roots.
Yep.
And I listened to all four sides, and I had to play sides 1 and 2 again. This got left over in a lot of bins, and I don't think people understood how excellent this album really is. I mean, I heard a couple of folks, West Coast folks, for obvious reasons. It's Ted Nugent, okay?
Right.
And they don't like Ted Nugent for obvious reasons. But look, I could give a damn if it's Ted Nugent. This album is phenomenal. It's still sitting in bins out there. I think once people find out what this is all about, they're going to pick it up. And as you know, I already have an actual OG original copy promo of this that was done.
Very nice. Very nice.
And I got to tell you, it's very good. It sounds. All of the vinyl this time, really sounds good. I didn't get anything warped. I've had warped records before, if you remember.
Yeah.
Couple of record store days, I got some warped records. I don't know what the hell that was all about. It was just a bunch of warped records.
Terrible.
And, then there was some pressings. I think it was Blue Oyster Cult Live or something.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that.
And I'm like, this thing is shit. And I couldn't. What was I going to do with it?
Right.
At that point, they won't take it back at the record store. They'll give you credit. And,
Of course.
not one of my favorite record stores either. We'll go into that. But and then the last thing, the Pale Shades of Grey. This was another give it a try situation. I read it. I don't know any of the bands in there. Some albums in there, but I will tell you that it's truly psych. It's heavy psych.
Yeah.
And it sounds really good. It's listenable, right? It's not anything that's going to drive you nuts. It's not garage craziness. It's a good, heavy, good thinking man's music. So good stuff.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
That's essentially what I got. Of course, I got the the jazz album as well.
Oh, and we both got a complimentary issue of Goldmine.
We did. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, let me grab it right here. I thought this was really a terrific idea by Goldmine, and it had to cost him a pretty penny to do this because it looks like a full-size magazine by its thickness, but it's a record store day exclusive complimentary copy. And if you went out to support your local music stores, they had piles of these. I'm assuming at most of the stores. Now, I will tell you, what's that?
You and I both subscribe to Goldmine. We have for years.
Yeah. Goldmine's a terrific magazine.
It is fantastic.
But you know what I think? I think our guy missed a little bit what this could have represented. He had 80 people waiting in front of his store at various times, waiting to go in and buy music. Well, why don't you hand these out to people and let them read something? Yeah. And some record stores did do that. I saw pictures of them. I'm like, well, that makes a lot of sense, but as you can see, some of the Paramore was the U.S. record ambassador, Tragically Hip. Then they got Ringo Starr, Queen, Pearl Jam, and some other nice articles in there.
Have you dug into the magazine yet? I just thumbed through it. I didn't have time to go through it.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, I'm going to go through and read a lot of it. It looked very informational. They did a lot of interviews in there, as Goldmine always does. Right. Yeah. And I think we'll do a video just on Goldmine and some of the Goldmine stuff and how we used to price records before there was Discogs.
There you go. Nice. Yes.
Have some evidence of that.
Yeah.
I will share with all of you. Larry, there was you and I were talking in line. We always talk.
Yep.
Obviously, that's what we're good at. But I will say that the record store we go to. Not the greatest record store. We've been going to that record store for years.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say anything bad about them. And I don't have anything good to say about them. I mean, same old tired store. They don't, remember Lunchbox Records? We went to our road trip. That was an awesome store. I mean, it's got cool colors and there's everything you can see in here. This place that we go to, it's just the same old thing. And they're always talking about the legacy and how they've been there forever.
Well, Todd, let's put it this way. Here's how you can frame. Besides record store day, how many times have we gone up there to buy anything or look around?
Never.
Hello.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Whereas if Lunchbox Records was around us,
we'd be there every other weekend.
Right.
You're right.
For sure. For sure. So that tells you a lot just in and of itself, right?
Yeah. So I know, Larry, you put together some thoughts on pros and cons of this record store day. It was a big record store day.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff covered. Well, as far as our store, I mean, they have a weird way of doing it. It's you sign up online and you fall into some kind of queue. It's just all odd.
I'm going to go through the negatives first.
Okay.
Because I want to end on a positive note.
I like that.
So the negatives that I saw was there was a lot of people outside, but I didn't seem to feel like any kind of a neighborly feel. People weren't talking to each other about what they were looking for. They were probably paranoid about saying what they were looking for in case somebody else would grab the copy,
Sell it back to them.
And there were at least 80 people in front of you and me.
Yeah.
So that was my negative. The pros, even with that, it's so weird. I got most everything I wanted, which I still don't understand. Maybe my taste in music is just different than the crowd that shows up there. You know, when we talked about that a lot, right?
Yeah.
And I think the crowd that shows up at that neighborhood is very, hippie-ish like, and Grateful Dead, Fish, drive-by truckers, anybody that had a flower power thought, as a group would have been big with this crowd. And while I enjoy the Grateful Dead, I am not the biggest. That's not really Record Store Day to me, is what I'm going for. I'm going for more eclectic taste and something a little take a chance on here and there and try to open up. Maybe I find a group that I didn't know about or was not a fan of before, and who knows. So that's the cons, and I know you have some pros and cons also.
Yeah, just a couple. I mean, prices are huge for me.
The prices. Thank you. I mean, how did I not write that down? But the prices they're going to start driving people. The momentum is with vinyl right now, going up, up. And it's going to change if they don't freaking straighten out their act here, these companies. I don't care the demand, this and that. People are going to get to a point where they're not paying $39 for a freaking record. I don't care how many grams of gold is built into the freaking disc. That's just getting too much. It's just getting too much, and I don't know if it's greed yet or
40. And you could go to a record show. You can go to used. You can get a good used record. Sure, it's not 180 grams. It's not mastered from some crazy tapes or whatever. But look, you can clean them up in your ultrasonic cleaner. You can put it on your turntable, and you can go, you know what, I like it. I'm so good. And that's for the most part, that's all analog.
That's a great point. And, I think as vinyl's popularity comes back, record shows where you can browse through used records at your leisure are going to get more popular. Yep. And I got to tell you, I don't know about Record Store Day. They've got to change things up. I know I talked to you about a couple things that I thought would help and make certain record stores, if they did this.
Yeah, what would they be? I mean, that's probably a good subject to try out, Larry. What are a couple things? If you were in front of a store owner right now, what would you say would make a Record Store Day great?
So I would want to get those people that have come out early in the morning and even the night before, and treat them with respect and treat them right.
Yeah.
Have some food trucks out there so that if they're hungry, they can do something, right? Have some coffee and donuts for free. Mm-hmm. You know what? You almost guilt people into buying another record because they feel like you've treated them nicely.
Yeah.
And then I realize not every record store can do this, but I did see a couple record stores where they opened up, say, at 9 a.m., but at 8 a.m., they had different games and music trivia contests, and they had giveaways. Well, how cool is that?
That is cool.
When you do something like that, you get the people there talking to each other, and it makes it more of a fun experience. When we were there, Todd, I was excited about getting records, but I wasn't excited about anything else.
No,
I just wanted to get in.
And neither was anyone else. They were in there.
Right.
They didn't go over. They didn't give an opportunity. There was no percentage off anything. A lot of stores I saw online were given 25% off anything in the store. It's like, oh, that's amazing. Again, not every store can do that. But, it's an incentive for you to do not just Record Store Day shopping, but to shop in the store and to become familiar with the store, especially if you just came to that one.
I just don't get it.
I don't either.
Coffee and donuts. What's the big deal? It's not expensive.
Some entertainment, have a busker sitting out there and playing his guitar, or maybe playing some of the selections that are being sold in the, I don't know. The possibilities are endless. I'm sure.
All you got to do is be creative. Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Just be creative. I mean, and as far as organization goes, right? The store we go to, and I've seen this with other stores too.
Yeah.
The store we go to, it's alphabetical A through.
Yeah.
But I've seen online where several stores did this. They actually have dividers in there. And the dividers will actually have, the Dio, the fog hat, and you have a divider, and then they left them in there for the ones that's like, well, they're gone. because that divider is empty. Man, I love that idea. Especially if you wanted to jump right through it and not have to look through it.
Yeah.
Again, is that maybe a tactic for sales? It is, right? You're impulsive.
Probably.
That Bill Evans.
Probably. Yep. I sucked right into it.
Yeah, you got sucked into it. And also going back kind of to giving discounts and just being a little bit more of open to opening the store up a little bit and making it known that you really care. And Record Store Day is a big deal. Instead of having it be like you're going to like a funeral wake.
Right.
I mean, everybody just kind of, they just kind of made their way through. It's like, okay, see you later.
Yeah.
Bill, bye.
Right. The whole premise of Record Store Day is to get people out of their homes, not shopping through Amazon, but getting them out of the homes and supporting their local record store. Well, if you just support your local record store one day a year, those record stores should look at this day as an opportunity, and some of them do. Yeah, to get you to want to keep coming to their store.
Yeah, I saw a lot of them, like especially it seems like the Northeast U.S., right? Philly or Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York. They do a lot of those things.
Sure do.
I don't know what's up with North Carolina. They seem
I don't either.
They fall.
I don't either.
Now, I'm not saying that about every North Carolina store, but certainly the ones that are in our area. Yeah. And look, the biggest takeaway I think that from our discussion here to any record store owner is just like you said, Larry, treat it like it's the first time your store is open. Yeah. And then your people come in there. It's time for you to maybe paint the walls different color, put some box sets up, get some audio equipment in there, use that day as your, your new moment.
Try to get people to fall in love with your freaking store.
That's it.
Right.
And I didn't see that at all. And again, that's a little tired. It definitely could use a facelift, and it's been owners for sure been there probably forever. I mean, all I know is that we don't shop there. And I think next year, Larry, I think we're going to make alternate arrangements.
I agree.
I think we know where we're going to go as well.
Yep.
A lot more fun. Anyway, so hopefully somebody takes our. It's ranting. We don't own a store. We're patrons, but I think patrons. Isn't that the whole point? We're the customer. So
I'll tell you what.
You listen to us.
That's right. Let's listen to us rant. Makes us happy.
Exactly.
And like, subscribe, comment. Please tell us what you got. Yeah, if you listened to it already, tell us what you thought.
Yeah, we're a new channel. We're going to grow. We're going to get better. The technology is going to get better. We're going to do all sorts of different kinds of shots. And this was a dry run back in March when we started it with the road trip. Now we've got a whole bunch of great ideas. We'd like your ideas. So please don't hesitate to comment. Throw a like on there. That helps move our video along. And then we'll just give you more things. One of the things that we came up with there, I'm really excited about. Yep. Is the I don't know if we can use Jeopardy, but we probably can. We're not making any money. This is not like we're making money. This is for fun.
That's right.
Is musical Jeopardy. And Larry, I would put anybody up against you on rock and roll music Jeopardy. I think that would be a lot of fun. So I think we'll get some guests lined up for that and see if we could beat Lair in rock and roll music Jeopardy.
Sounds good.
All right, Record Store Day 2024, come gone. Like you said, like and subscribe, and we'll be back with another great video here in the next couple of weeks. So thanks so much for tuning in.
Excellent.
See y'all.
Thanks, guys. See you, Todd.
See you later.